Taxes are not sexy, like at all, at all. But do you know what is? Not getting audited, not overpaying the IRS, and not panicking in April when you are staring at a blank 1040, wondering what in the hell to do with that W-9 from a clip site that you forgot you even used, right? If you are an adult creator making any money online, this is some real important shit. You're a business owner, whether you fully feel like it or not, and the IRS is expecting us to financially act like it. Hey, I'm Allie, and today I'm going to walk through an essential rundown on spicy taxes that I think every adult content creator needs. I have gone over everything from write-offs for your lingerie and your ring light to choosing the right business structure, all the way to staying audit ready with receipts and real documentation. So, if you're like me and taxes have ever felt overwhelming, we're about to break it down, make it real, and make it actually understandable. We're going to just start this off with a big, fat, thick, juicy disclaimer. I am not a CPA. This is not financial advice, as I am not a tax professional. Taxes terrify me. That is why I pay somebody to do mine. But this was a requested resource by one of our YouTube subscribers, so we're doing it together. So, buckle in, y'all. The research for this one, she took hours. She's thick. And this video, this is the abridged version. Let's just start with one of the biggest myths I see all the time. And it's this concept or this idea that if you're just posting spicy pics on the side or you didn't get a 1099, that just means you don't have to report your income. My love. No. No. The IRS does not care if you earned that money posting solo content, selling custom videos, or if you robbed a damn bank. They don't care. They want their cut. No, but literally on the robbed a bank one, in my research, I found a whole ass section for how to report income that you came by illegally. They really want their piece of the damn pie. Here is kind of how it works. The moment you make money as an independent creator, the IRS is now considering you self-employed. That means you're running a business, even if you have filed no paperwork, even if you have got no taxes in the past you've had to pay on this, you sold one piece of content, you're self-employed. But depending on your income and how you want to structure your business, you've got options. So most of us start out as sole proprietors. It's the default. There's no extra forms you fill out. You just start making money dollars, right? You report your income and your expenses on a Schedule C with your personal taxes. They all go together. Super simple. Kind of just the entry point for just about everybody. There's a downside. There is zero liability protection. And you are paying full self-employment tax, which is 15.3% off the top right away, which adds up really fast. Now, that lack of liability protection, you get sued, your business gets sued, so do you. Your business goes bankrupt, so do you. But let's talk about what happens when you start earning a bit more money or you want to keep things a bit more protected. Then you can form a LLC that gives you that liability protection, which helps separate your business and gives you a full business name, a full business identity, and just kind of a more professional vibe. Tax-wise, though, I know everyone wants to think once I'm an LLC, I get the cuts. Tax-wise, a single-member LLC is treated the exact same as a sole proprietor unless you change it. And for many, that change eventually becomes an S-Corp election. That is what I did. And S-Corp can save you thousands in taxes if you are bringing in consistent income. You pay yourself a salary, which gets taxed like normal payroll, but the rest of your profit can be taken as distributions, not subject to self-employment tax. It's beautiful. It's also so much more paperwork. It's so much more. You'll need a payroll system or at minimum a CPA to keep it running clean. But let me tell you, when I went S-Corp from LLC, I shaved something like 15 plus K off my tax bill. And that is not something to sneeze at, you know? It was worth it for me. All right, let's talk income, because when people say track your income, a lot of creators I'm coming to know don't realize how many sources count. Subscriptions, tips, custom content, camming, affiliate links, cash app payments, crypto payouts, you name it. It's all taxable. Did you get tipped on a wish list site? Still taxable. Does not matter that it is a wish list site. Did you get that gorgeous pair of luxury shoes for that custom video you've been wanting? Yeah, those shoes, the value of those, taxable. Any and everything that you earn in return for goods or services is taxable income. Even if you did not get a 1099, you are still legally required to report it. And I know what you're thinking, because a lot of people have said this and it's terrifying. Well, if I don't submit to the IRS, how are they going to know? Honey, I love you. Whatever platform you're receiving money on, they've already reported to the IRS the income you've earned. And the IRS does match 1099s to your tax returns. So if you skip something, you're raising the neon sign saying, please come audit me, right? So the smart move here is to keep a daily income tracker. Track everything. Track the date, the source, the amount, right? Save those payout emails you get. Export your platform earnings. Y'all know me, and I use my multi-platform income tracker religiously. I'll link it down below. And y'all, this is not just about being prepared for taxes. It also shows you more analytical detail, such as what platforms are performing, what's falling off, and where are fans actually spending, you know? Now, let's talk deductions. When we talk deductions, there's a catch. A deduction is a ordinary and necessary expense related to your work. Ordinary means it's common for your industry. Necessary means it is helpful or appropriate. That's it. That's the full criteria. If it fits that criteria and you have proof of it, it's likely deductible. And y'all, we got a lot of things that do count. But before we go in to just a ton of potential deductions, I want to just talk one safety note here. If you elected to make your business a LLC or an S-Corp, you were very likely required to choose an industry to categorize your business. So definitely make sure your expenses fit the industry you chose. Make sure they are ordinary, right? Second big note on that, and it's much more of a big safety note. If you are in a state that does not allow you to create adult content, you can still get an LLC and you can still deduct expenses, even as a sole proprietor. You just need to make so sure that your chosen deductions stay a bit away from things like lingerie, lube, floggers. Things like that might raise some concerns with the IRS, and that might be a little bit tough to defend in an audit. So to give a very personal note on this, I am a digital art company. That is what I have. I am a digital artist. So I expense my ring lights and my subscriptions and my office space, but my lingerie, that brand new plug, and that one cosplay I really want, I'm not going to be expensing those. But let's go category by category on some potential deductions so you can start organizing and claiming what's yours. This is just the beginning. This is literally just the beginning of what you could deduct. Let's start with equipment and technology. So this is everything you use to create and distribute your content. That includes your cameras, camcorders, webcams, microphones, ring lights, softbox, tripods, backdrop, green screen, neon sign with your stage name, you name it. All of that is deductible. The same thing goes with your technology, your computer. monitors, SD cards, editing software, hard drives, your phone or your tablet. If you are using any of that for your business, it is deductible. Now, let's say you're using your phone for business and personal life. If you're using one item for both personal and business use, so like your phone or your internet bill, just figure out the percentage that is business related. Apply that to the overall cost for the deduction. So really commonly what we'll see is like 50 to 70% from creators, but be certain that you are being honest and you are being consistent. And one thing to not forget, software and apps, subscriptions, things like that. If you use photo editing tools, video editors, accounting software, cloud storage, VPNs, anything that is supporting your business, that counts. Subscriptions like your Canva, your Dropbox, your Fangrowth.io, your Monad Sky, put those on the list. Write those babies off. Even your website hosting expenses. So let's say you have your own website like I do. That domain name, that hosting fee, any premium themes, you name it, they are all deductible because they all help you conduct your business. Next up on the categories, we have costumes, wardrobes, and props. This is where the spicy is, right? So lingerie that's used for shoots, yes. That gorgeous latex cosplay outfit with that wig and that fetish gear to go with it, or those heels that only ever touch your set, all yes, deduct them all. The key here, and very important, is it has to be used exclusively for your content. If you wear those sky-high heels in your personal life one single time, you cannot write that off. Keep these items completely separate from your daily wardrobe to avoid confusion, which can happen. Personally, I have a section in my closet right here that is just lingerie and costumes, and that does not leave that section of my closet unless it is for work. Same thing should go with props and set materials. So adult toys, BDSM gear, rope, cuffs, floggers, furniture, set decor, you name it. If it shows up in a clip and you purchased it exclusively for your content, you can deduct it. That food you got for that mukbang, yeah. That sword you got for that cosplay, yeah, deduct that. Did you get a kiddie pool because you're going to do a water shoot? Deduct that. It's all fair game. Just document the use and save the receipts. Makeup, beauty supplies, that's where it's getting trickier. So basic grooming, like your haircut or your daily makeup, that's not deductible. Even if you are using it on camera. This haircut, I cannot deduct this because as much as I'm using it on camera now, it does go with me out there. I can't take off this haircut. But if it is so specific to your persona, like body glitter or stage makeup or special effects makeup or, things like that, that's deductible. Keep in mind, you can only deduct the amount of the cosmetics used for that content creation. So love yourself. And in order to avoid having to figure out what percentage of foundation you used for that one shoot, consider having separate makeup, cosmetic, etc. kits for work. However, if you hire a makeup artist for a shoot, write that shit off. It's a complete 100% write-off. Now let's just keep going. Let's think dry cleaning or laundry for your filming outfits. Those are deductible, especially if you are trying to maintain unique or special fabrics, right? Now, let's move to the one thing we all share, our space. If you use a dedicated part of your home exclusively for your business, you qualify for the home office deduction. Okay, here's the thing. Was that in the past a audit red flag? Yeah, it's not quite seen that way anymore. Your home office deduction includes a filming area, editing space, admin zone, whatever is used only for work. So you can deduct a portion of your rent or mortgage, utilities, internet, renter's insurance, and more. So the standard method to figure out what percent to deduct requires you to calculate the square footage of your workspace, divided by your total home size, and then you multiply that percentage by the total bill. If you go the next step and you rent an external studio or you book a hotel room for shoots, full business expense. That includes the rental cost, the travel there, the meals, if it's overnight and everything. Just document the purpose, document the receipts, document everything. Alrighty, then we've got furniture and office supplies. Your desk that you need, expensible. Supplies, expensible. Chairs, storage units, decorative items that appear on set, that paint that you chose to match your aesthetic, it can all count. The same goes with your notebooks, your pens, your printer ink, or anything you use to stay organized and run your damn business, right? Marketing and advertising expenses are another huge deduction area. So this includes all of your paid ads on social media. More than that, this includes shout out spots on other creators' pages, banners, or any promotional service, right? And I do mean even if you pay another creator to feature you in a collab or a campaign, that is a marketing cost. You can expense that. Now let's take a minute to clarify something that trips up a lot of people. Hi, it was me before this resource. So thank you, person who requested this, for educating me or telling me to educate myself. Let's clarify platform fees. Most platforms like OnlyFans or ManyVids, they take their cut before they pay you. You don't deduct their fees separately because you never received that gross amount of money. But think about other fees like payout fees, premium placement fees, transaction costs, customer service fees, etc. Those are deductible. So that 20% that Fansly takes away from me before I pay out, I cannot deduct that. I did not receive that 20%, so I can't deduct it. But that fee that I pay for paying out coin flow from the UPay platform is deductible because that money was mine first. I just had to pay to, get the rest of it. Now let's talk about help, right? Because I don't know about y'all. I think we could all use an assistant or 10. If you hire an editor, a manager, an assistant, or pay a friend to help with content, and you pay them over $600 in 1 year, you must issue them a 1099 NEC. But that being said, those payments, they are deductible. You can deduct everything you pay someone else. And then there's education and training and courses and webinars and books, anything like that you purchase to improve your current work or skills is deductible. So if you were to grab the Creators Spicy Chats vault with hundreds and hundreds of resources in it to up your content game, available on the creatorsspicytea.co/shop store, you can expense that. Or if you were to subscribe to the Creators Spicy Tea Patreon to get even more access to even more resources and education for your industry, that $5 a month, that is tax deductible. So whether you are learning editing, sales psychology, or whatever the hell you need to up your game, if you are purchasing it to learn about your industry, you can expense it. And now travel's a big one. So I think we've kind of touched on it. But if you rent an Airbnb for a shoot, document that. If you go to an industry event and you collab with others, write down the flights, write down the hotels, write down the meals, keep the receipts. Just keep proof that it was business related. The IRS in general wants to work with you, and they just don't want you to lie. They are just saying, prove it, please. Just please be careful. The IRS doesn't play with personal stuff being passed off as business. No, your regular makeup routine, not a deduction. That heavy body glitter paint that you only use for cam shows, yeah, that's a deduction. Manicure that you do before filming feet clips on your OnlyFans, maybe. Be able to explain it, back it up with receipts, and keep everything as separate as possible for work as you can from personal life. And you want to be audit ready. even if you never get audited. All my fingers and toes crossed for all of us. And what that means is organized digital folders, PDFs of receipts, a running expense log, mileage logs, screenshots, and notes, so many effing notes. I keep a spreadsheet with date, vendor, amount, category, and purpose for every expense, plus photos of all of my physical receipts, plus I keep my physical receipts, plus PDF downloads of every emailed receipt, plus screenshots of receipts and invoices, plus backups of all that shit. Because receipts fade, computers crash. The IRS does not give a shit. They want documentation. So save all documentation digitally and back it up on a hard drive. Write on your receipts as well what they are for. Keep logs, spreadsheets, backups. Store your income records, right? Your 1099s, your statements, your mileage logs, and photos of your workplace. Just be ready to defend every deduction. So you can claim $5,000 in lingerie, but be ready to show receipts and an item list. If you claim mileage, you have to have a log. Don't make up numbers. It's just making up numbers and reasons is how you get fucked. All right, let's pivot away from deductions and start talking taxes and the different kinds we have to pay. And I think we should start with quarterly taxes because this is where a lot of creators get really tripped up. So in the United States, we are on a pay-as-you-go system. That means the IRS expects tax payments throughout the year, not just in April. When you are working a 9-to-5 where you are employed under someone else, your employer is paying those quarterly taxes, or they're paying those taxes throughout the year for you. As a self-employed person, you're expected to make quarterly payments 4 times a year. That's April 15th, roughly, June 15th, roughly, September 15th, roughly, and January 15th, roughly. Each one covers the income from the previous quarter. If you don't pay during the year or you don't pay enough, you could owe penalties, even if you pay in full at tax time. The general rule of thumb is to either pay 90% of your current year's tax liability or 100% of the previous year's. So try and set aside 25 to 30% of your income. Honestly, I would say 25 to 35%, just really protect your ass. If you're in a high tax state or you're making buku bucks, the number might be higher, but it's a really good ballpark to play around in. You can pay your taxes online through the IRS direct pay system or EFTPS. Some creators use the IRS to go app. Personally, I use the IRS direct pay system. Don't skip payments and then just hope to catch up later. Just don't do it. That's how you fall behind. That's how you get stuck. So now let's talk the next bit of tax, and that's our self-employment tax, because a lot of people don't realize it's on top of your regular income tax. So that's 15.3%, 12.4% for Social Security, and 2.9% for Medicare. When you are self-employed, you pay both the employer and employee portions. No, sorry, there is no real getting around it unless you structure your business in a way to reduce it, like I did with a S-Corp. But there's good news around it. Half of that self-employment tax is deductible. Now, just because it's deductible doesn't mean it reduces your tax bill directly, but it does reduce your taxable income, and that helps a lot. So let me just give you the biggest tip I got here. Treat your content creation business like you are already a 6-figure company. Even if you are making a few $100 a month, right? That mindset shift is what keeps you organized, compliant, and ready to scale. You don't have to cheat the system. You just have to make the system work for you. Quick recap before we totally close off. If you are a creator, you are self-employed, even if you have never filed a tax form. All of your income counts. Does not matter where it came from. Track every dollar in and every dollar out. Pay your quarterly taxes. Take every legitimate write-off you can. Document everything. And if this is all getting too confusing, if taxes are too much, I get it. Hire a CPA or a tax professional. It's what I did, and I don't regret it. I could not have done this alone. I would not have my business classified the way it is alone. I would have struggled just getting the LLC. All right. That was miserable overall. I don't know about you guys. I hate taxes. I don't even like talking about them. It is such a buzzkill, but I am so glad we did this resource together. I'm so glad we got this out there for anybody who might need it. So if this video helped you in any way whatsoever, consider checking out the Creator Spicy Tea Patreon, where there is a more in-depth written resource that puts this already somehow 30-minute long video to shame. There's so much more information within that. I'm going to link that bad boy below. And if you think this video can help anyone else out, another creator friend of yours, throw it at them gently and give them a heads up first so they can catch it. That was so lame. I don't take it back. This was too serious. We are about community, information, and education, never competition here. And unfortunately, part of that education and information is taxes. Spicy, spicy taxes. So I'm glad we got this resource out there, and I hope to who requested it, this kind of helped out. To everyone else, I hope it helped out just as much. Alrighty, this has been Allie with Creators Spicy Tea. I hope you are so safe. I hope you are mostly sane, because I know better than to ask for much else. And I hope you're flourishing.